That being a sex educator and having a like very I would say significant following across different channels, you would be getting approached by people with their sexual problems, men, women. So would you like to talk about some of the problems that you see people very frequently approach you for, like women and then men?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I'm not a sex therapist. I just want to put that out. I'm really just, you could say, a sex educator,
Mhm.
sex researcher, and I give and I felicitate or facilitate some workshops and webinars. And I like to see myself as a vessel of beneficial knowledge. That's what I try. And so it's just imparting something that I found that's quite interesting that might be beneficial to people. I might impart it or inform them of other maybe more professionals or sex therapists or other books or recommended books. So that's kind of just a little disclaimer in case people think I'm a sex therapist. But in terms of the questions, the most frequent questions I received, I'll split into two. So from men, it's a lot of the questions are around performance anxiety and how they can last longer in the bedroom. And also how they can make, whereas I like how they can make their partner squirt, whereas I prefer to say how you can help her squirt. It's not you that's a doer, it's you're the facilitator. So it's mainly around squirting and orgasm, like trying to help their partner squirt to orgasm. And also for themselves, it's also a case of they're worried about performance anxiety and premature ejaculation. And a lot of it is because from what people have been miseducated by porn, and they've seen these elaborate sex sessions that they think they're supposed to last 35, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. They're comparing themselves. So that's the questions I generally receive from men. And then with the women, it's a lot of the questions revolve around whether it's squirting or orgasm, but a lot of the questions revolve around women feeling that they're inadequate or not normal. And that's because what they haven't been exposed to different normal practices or types of normal, because they're always, a lot of the time I find women are comparing themselves to others, and I think that there's something is wrong with them because they're not able to orgasm like women in porn or from what they've heard from their friends and things like that. So that's why I try to impart um, authentic and correct information to eradicate the stigma and
Correct.
also to normalize that sex or sexual practice is going to ebb and flow. You're not always going to experience mind-blowing orgasms. You're not always going to have extremely high desire. So
Mhm.
to have a low desire is normal. There's obviously ways that you can arouse, increase that, but this idea that you need to, I think one of the problems, especially that I think a lot of women that have approached me have is they kind of see them feelings of inadequacy where they feel that they are not normal or they're broken and all of these type of things. So I try to show a spectrum of normalcy, that there's not one type of normal. You're not supposed to always have a
Lovely.
really high orgasm. So, and again, I think if people learn to accept themselves, a lot of these so-called problems aren't really a problem, because really and truly, when you think about it, a problem is only a problem if you think it's a problem. So even if someone, for example, is having intimacy or having sex, sorry, once every month, if they're happy with that and their partner's happy with that, that's not a problem. The problem lies is when you think that you're supposed to have sex 3 times a day and you're supposed to have gushing orgasms every other day. That's when it becomes a problem. And that's why sometimes statistics, they do not help. So as much as even part of the work I'm trying to do is trying to reduce the orgasm gap, which refers to the fact that men orgasm more frequently than women during heterosexual encounters. It's not really a problem if the woman is comfortable with how often she climaxes. Whereas it's a problem if a woman wants to climax or orgasm more frequently than she is, then it becomes a problem, if that makes sense. So that's why sometimes a lot of the process is trying to understand or trying to unpack this so-called problem, whether it is actually a problem, or maybe people think it's a problem because they're comparing themselves to others. So that's that's why I try to, like I said, but I as much as I do receive a number of emails and messages, I can't respond to everyone. So that's why I try and just impart the little knowledge that I've acquired either online through my Instagram live, and I try to make it quite entertaining as well,
Mm.
and quite informative. So it's not just, oh, this is information overload, and it's not just something where I'm trying to be sensitive to people's needs, but at the same time, I'm just trying to normalize even having these conversations so people don't feel overwhelmed or underwhelmed to kind of understand and to learn about their own anatomy and their own sexuality.
Lovely. That's quite a session, I would say. I mean, personally, I think yeah, the problems are even here in India also. It's a similar problem, and I think it just gets, even despite being the land of Kama Sutra, people are very reluctant, very ashamed. Uh, they feel judged if they talk about it. So, I mean, slowly and steadily, things are opening up. Like Seema Anand, she is someone who has been a very significant figure, and there are people. So I'm so glad that it was really wonderful to have you here, Habib, and bring up this cultural aspect. I was very keen because the moment I started following your work, that was something which very fascinated me. Is your zeal, like as you said, that the vessel of the knowledge. I think that's wonderfully you have described it. That's what the world needs, more than a treatment, more than a therapy. It's something that starts with the acceptance, and the examples that you elicited, especially the tribal one, like where they have different names, and it feels so amazing to even think that there could have been some community where there is so much of acceptance. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. So thank you so much. And yeah, this video is also recorded on our page, and I will be sharing also this too on my personal pages. And yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much for
Have a good
inviting me.
day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.